Howdy folks, it's Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician here, making a video for you out of Boise, Idaho. Today I'm working on a True Blue import, and I'm not talking just a Honda, I'm talking a True Blue import, a Honda mini truck, also known as an ACTY, ACTY, but better known as a mini truck. It's not a minivan, it is a mini truck. And so I've only worked on 2 of these in my 26-year career, and I haven't never gotten as deep into one as I've gotten into this one. So on this one, we've done quite a bit of engine work, electrical work, and a few other things like, new ignition switches and all that other good stuff. It's dark in here, so probably can't see that. New harness and connectors, all that other good stuff. So now I'm actually getting into the brakes, the wheel bearings, and it's got a blown boot on an axle in here. Right there. It's actually blown pretty good. It's not bad. The axle's not bad yet, and also I have no idea where you get these axles from. I haven't been able to find one, but I have been able to find new boots and stuff, so we're going to pull this axle and get all that fixed up. And it's a hassle, let me tell you. Okay, so if you have one of these mini trucks and you're in the States here and you're trying to find some information about how to replace the inner wheel bearing and also how to remove that axle, welcome to the channel here. I'm going to go ahead and do my best to make a video to show you. Now, for to understand, what we need to do first is we need to go ahead and get a jack underneath our torsion bar here. Okay, and so this is what this is. If you look this up, this bar contains the wheel hubs and all that, right? This is actually a torsion bar, which, I was surprised to learn that as well. So this is your torsion bar. So if you're looking up, like in the Japanese handbook and all that other stuff, I come to find out that this is what they mean when you're looking it up, and it says to lower the torsion bar so you can swing it back and forth. So this is what they're talking about. It's not going to be called a rear end or anything like that. And man, it definitely confused me for a minute. So okay, so go ahead and get a jack underneath there. I'm also going to get 2 jack stands, and then we're going to lower that. We're going to loosen it and lower it by loosening the leaf springs here, and then also taking the shock apart. So I'm going to go ahead and pause and get set up to do that, and then kind of show that to you real quick. Okay, hopefully you're watching the video all the way through, and that's because as we go through, I'm going to go ahead and show you. So these are 14 millimeter. These turned out to be 14 millimeter bolts. And on this one, even though it's a bazillion years old, just like pretty much any Honda mini truck is going to be, it really was not in bad shape. I don't think this one's been around too many places, like for example in Salt Lake City and places like that, where there's going to be a bunch of rust and corrosion. So that's really nice here. And I left one completely tight just to show you. Alright, pull your plate off. I'm just knocking dust and dirt off, that's all I'm doing. At the same time, I was just seeing how loose my studs were. They're pretty loose. So, now, you do the same thing on the other side, 14 millimeter. Now I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to start lowering this. And again, you're going to have to lower it and push these studs down out of the way, because we have to swing this back and forth in order to get these axles out. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I will be right back, folks. Okay, and since this is a step-by-step guide, I'm doing this as I go with the help of Japanese translated procedures and all that other good stuff. I'm going to stop and show you guys some things here. So I ended up removing my jack stands. I needed to lower it quite a bit more, and I used a rubber mallet to go ahead and knock out my studs there. So I didn't have to lower it as much without, as much as I thought I was going to have to, because, those studs were like, what, that long? So knock those down. I didn't knock them completely out, though. I can now swing and move this back and forth. You have to go in from the inside, okay? And you have to, let me see if I can get some light here. You have to go in from the inside there. Okay, so go ahead, before you swing your axle out, go ahead and get it loose there. Stick your pry bar in there and partially pop it out. So that way you don't have to fight with it. It's already loose and all that other good stuff. So once you've done that on this side and the other side, and both of those inner axle seals are bad. So I think we have new seals. I know we bought new seals of some kind, but I'm not real sure if we got inner axle seals. So I'll go back and look at that. So both sides are loose. So now we can move this back and forth and in the direction that we need to go ahead and get our axles out. You have to start by getting them out here, pulling them out here, and then pulling them out back the other way. So I'll show you that here in just a minute. Okay, starting with the driver's side, right? The torsion bar and all that is going to come down enough for you to be able to swing this rear end the way it is, and then you can get your axle out starting here. All right, and so you just got to swing everything this way, and then get your axle out, and then go ahead and knock it out from there, and that'll get that axle out. So now since this axle is out, we can swing the torsion bar and this setup the other direction to clear this axle. So I'll go ahead and show you what that's like next. All right, well, you gotta love it when a job that's supposed to be somewhat straightforward turns into a whole mess of problems. And the biggest problem I have on this job is that I've got axles that, I don't know how old they are. They could be as old as the vehicle or not. The thing is you should be able to either put the nut on the end here or put a punch in here and knock this axle out, and then the bearing should come out. But that is not the case here. So we have axles and bearings that are seized up inside of there. And then, of course, you've got this right here, which is the main reason why we're going in here, is to replace this boot and get this fixed up so it doesn't get destroyed. I actually don't know where you buy these axles from. So folks, if you follow this video step by step up to this point, you will be able to get your axles removed. If you're working on one like this one that's old and rugged and all that other good stuff, which more than likely you will be if you're following this video, then don't be surprised if you end up having to remove the torsion bar and everything, put it on the workbench and work it out to get those seized up axles and seized up bearings out of there. So there you have it, folks. It only took me 9 minutes to get to this point, if you notice the time of the video. No, I'm making a joke about that because I'm making a joke about that because somebody recently had mentioned that, oh, well, it only took you 15 minutes when in reality it actually took me 2 days to get a certain job done. And I had just videoed it in a step-by-step process. It was kind of a funny debate. So anyways, folks, so this has taken me about half a day now. I'd say about a good 4 or 5 hours. Take your time. Take your time. Be patient with it. A few things I'd like to point out. If you're in a shop and you're watching this video because somebody brought this to you, things aren't going to be as shady for you if you have a lift. My shop does not have thick enough concrete for a lift, so I don't have a lift. So if you're a do-it-yourselfer and you're watching this video, I'm just going to tell you right now, don't be too freaked out if you're looking at the way you jack these things up and keep them up in the air are a little shady. They are not a safe vehicle in any form or fashion, including jacking them up. And that even goes for sticking them on a lift at a shop. It's just because of the short wheelbase and all that other stuff. So if you're do-it-yourselfer and you're working on your Honda mini truck, or you found one of these mini trucks and you just were tickled and you picked one up and you wanted something to work on, here you go. This is it. This is how you replace those rear axles. And it is a beast of a job, let me tell you. So now it's time to go to the drawing board, start soaking these axles and all that other good stuff, and see if I can't get them out of there so I can get them repaired and we can get this job finished up. So, alrighty, folks. Well, if you have any questions, shoot them to us in the comments. I really appreciate everybody coming out and checking out my videos and liking and subscribing. Thank you to all the other people that also answer other people's questions. I don't make a huge effort to get to the questions just because I have so much else going on in life, but I was hoping that we would build this awesome community where other people could answer questions as well, and that seems to be what's happening. So that's pretty cool. So if you have any questions, shoot them to us in the comments. Either myself or somebody will get to you. I have been known to eventually get to people via email, and I've even talked to people on the phone just to bounce ideas off of and all that other good stuff. So, alrighty, folks. Well, this is Matthew, your friendly neighborhood technician, signing off.